Hi, and welcome to another video on Eczema Phoenix, where we learn how to transform our lives living with eczema. So today I'm going to talk about what I'm pretty sure a lot of people who know me and who've been following my channel for a while have been waiting for, which is my holy grail skincare products for eczema. Now, disclaimer, keep in mind that these recommendations are coming from a 32-year-old Filipina American who is first generation, grew up in the Bay Area of California, which, although is near the coast, is drier and a bit cooler than the climate of the Philippines, which is where my parents came from. I'm someone who believes in the mind-body connection, holistic health, and spirituality, although I don't subscribe to any one particular system of thought. My skin type is dry with a tendency to get flaky when itchy. My rashes are usually dry and occasionally oozy and occasionally bleedy if it is diet related in my system. I was diagnosed with asthma as a child, but got rid of the respirator I think when I was about 8 years old. I have had food allergies and have grown out of the majority of the popular ones except for dairy, and fish except for salmon. And I bring up all of these factors because I think something that is missing from a lot of skincare and beauty recommendations online and in general is the lack of considering each person's background. I think that some people offer some general disclaimers saying that, oh, my recommendations work for me but might not work for everyone. But they also, I noticed, don't really specify like their particular lens through which they see skincare and beauty products. Because I think if I had a baseline and knew the background of the person recommending each of these products, I can kind of compare it to the baseline that I'm working with my skin type, my environment, my ethnicity, and my experiences, and see if there can be some connections where I would go along and try some of the recommendations anyway, or I might steer away from it and just save myself the time from trying it because I can't actually relate to them environmentally or ethnically. So I give this very specific and thorough disclaimer about where I'm coming from with my recommendations, and that way you can see that these products are products that work for someone with my particular factors and skin type, and you can see if any of those factors relate to you as well, so you're not just blindly going with whatever I'm recommending in a desperate attempt to relieve your skin. You can see what I recommend and know whether or not to avoid those products or if they're still worth a shot for you to check out. I'm gonna begin with my most favorite product ever that I've been using for the past 12 years, and that is this Feel Good Spray by Royal Scents. This stuff is amazing. I am always running out. Look how little I have. And so this is a rose hydrosol. It is made from the rose damascena variety of roses, and I just find it to be so soothing. It's literally, you are smelling the roses with this spray, and it's soothing, it's cooling. For me, I find it lowers inflammation, and the smell is totally therapeutic and makes me feel grounded and held and comforted, and it's kind of sweet and earthy, which makes me feel pleasant and grounded emotionally and spiritually. And so the way I use this is I clean my face. I clean my face with usually a drop of Dr. Bronner's soap, and I may add a current balm that I'm really enjoying. I'll share some of them right now, or sometimes it's a homemade balm. 50-50, cleanse my skin, and then when my face is clean, I immediately spray with with this spray like this. And I get my neck as well, because you can't forget that. And that just hydrates my skin. It's also a toner. I find that it makes my skin feel more plump and supple. You know, it's rose, so it contains vitamin C, which is really great for collagen production and also skin recovery. And it doesn't sting when I spray it. It's super gentle. So especially for dry skin, I really recommend this. It would also be very good for normal skin, or skin that doesn't have any particular tendencies one way or the other of dryness or oiliness. But I would recommend it for sensitive skin as well, even if you have rosacea, because again, it really helps to calm inflammation. After that, I will apply some of this antiseptic cream from Tea Tree Therapy, which I get on Amazon, and some retailers sell it for better deals than others. I'll list the best one I can down in the description below. Although this is meant to be an antiseptic cream, meaning that it will help to kind of sanitize an area and to prevent infection, I actually find that this lotion formula is pretty gentle on my skin. Tea Tree Therapy Antiseptic Cream. Let's see if it can get a good view of that. So just about that amount. I don't know if you're gonna focus or not. That's fine. But you can kind of see the amount there. And then here, put about, yeah, that amount. It's kind of more liquidy, so gotta work quickly. Then I will put about an equal amount of this organic Manuka honey cream for the eyes. I can quite see the amount. And roughly about, sorry, I didn't mean to flip you off, but yeah, about that much for that. And then if I'm feeling like a little extra fancy, I might put some of this homemade DIY balm that I found the recipe for on Wellness Mama's blog. Except I make all of the carrier oils with avocado oil instead of coconut oil, just because I find it to be more slippery, thick, and more deeply penetrating. But you can always stick with the original recipe if you prefer. So sometimes I do a trifecta of skincare love. So that's the eyes, this is the face, and then I start with the thicker formula because spreading that out makes it easier to spread in the lotion more evenly. And then same goes on this side. I just really like literally put it all together like that. Here we go. And then I put this on my eyes. And the Tea Tree Antiseptic Cream is kind of minty. So if I don't put enough balm, it can kind of sting my eye area, and I will need to put more balm to stop the stinging from happening. I don't know the science behind that, but I'm assuming that since the carrier oil does not contain any volatile oils, it kind of like coats over the tea tree, the more effervescent and volatile tea tree oil, so that I still get the benefits of both for healing properties, for getting rid of, for keeping my skin clean and protected against infection. I still get like all the hydration, so it feels really good. I feel super hydrated right now. And you know, minty tea tree type of products, and even like stuff like eucalyptus, I find to be very helpful for like rashes on my body that happen to be dry and kind of irritated, or that are caused by really moist, like a lot of humidity in the air. Sometimes I experience that discomfort in my intimate areas. So like if your downstairs is getting kind of itchy, might need to aerate. Tea tree, the Tea Tree Therapy Antiseptic Cream can be very helpful for that private area, as well as this next lotion, body cream, from 100% Pure Cosmetics, which I have been a loyal fan of for also the past 12 years, when I started just this whole journey of learning about green beauty products and skincare that I could use other than steroid creams to keep my eczema at bay and manageable. And this I just use on my body. I use it on rashes. When I was seeing a traditional Chinese medicine doctor who specializes as a dermatologist, and I hesitate to list her information because when I was seeing her 12 years ago, she was like semi-retired, so I just feel like I don't want to burden her with more clients than she might want to take at this time. Also, she is a teacher at the American College of Traditional Chinese Medicine, so she's a pretty busy lady, but she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's doing. Okay, I might as well just give you her name. Dr. Zheling Yu was really my miracle worker. Thank you for helping me to super detox 12 years ago, and you know, it's been six years since I've seen her, and really her introducing me, meeting her and being exposed to Chinese herbal medicine was really the key. Like, more than acupuncture itself, like the herbs was really what did it for me. So thank you for opening up this, you know, healing path to me, and which then led me to green beauty products. But yeah, so aside from that, this is really great for the body. I also really like it for the neck. But these days my skin has been changing. Could be to, you know, aging, could be to changing weather patterns. Ooh, I should also mention that the technique that I used in cocktailing my water-based lotions that have an emulsifier that I blend with my oil-based balms helps my moisturizer to last like literally the whole day. I very rarely, if ever, need to reapply lotion when I do this, and that's because the oil gives it more staying power, it makes it thicker, and it makes it last longer, and that helps the product last. That helps both products also last a lot longer and keeps you from having to repurchase the same products over and over again very frequently, and that's always good for your paycheck as well as for your skin. If I do reapply, it's maybe one other time for the whole 8 to 12 or 16 hours that I'm awake each day, and that's just a much better place to be, because sometimes when you're using lotions and creams that are based in water, and it's like more, it's like 70, well, I don't actually know, I'm not a formulator, but it seems like maybe less than half to a quarter of the formula made with oil or thicker ingredients, and the rest is primarily the base, which water for some formulas, or just a water-based ingredient like aloe or rose water, which is great, but can evaporate after a few hours. And if you have inflamed skin or flaky skin, or it's in the process of recovery and you're having a lot of shedding going on, or your skin, or you're kind of like in a sunburn phase where your skin has hardened because it's in the process of healing the deeper layers, and so that top layer is like really stiff and dry, and it seems like it's just feeling dry when in fact it's just kind of like a layer of protection with skin cells that are on their way to kind of dying and peeling off. Doing this method can help that just feel a little bit more hydrating and comfortable, and make it make your skin feel a little bit more elastic, and, you know, easier for you to move your head or your neck, depending on what parts are healing and what parts are affected by flare-up. That I really like this organic Manuka skin smoothing cream, because Manuka honey is very nutritive, and it has trace minerals, which is really good for skin regeneration. It tastes amazing, and it's native to New Zealand. So I'm really excited for my trip in December to New Zealand. I hope I can get my hands on some authentic Manuka honey. And yeah, so this is one I like highly recommend, and I also like using it as a lip balm afterwards, and sometimes even as like a finishing conditioning product for my hair, just to keep my ends ends on my dyed hair pretty smooth and conditioned and not dried out. So it's very multi-purpose. Gotta love green beauty. And then, let's see, next product that I really love is by Earth Mama's Angel Baby Bottom Balm. And it's, you can see how much I've used it. The label's pretty rubbed off, and I think I'm almost done with this. This is like my probably 3rd jar that I've gone through, and it's pretty much empty. I'm just scraping the edges at this point. It smells amazing. You could smell the lavender and tea tree essential oils in it. I like it for like a neosporin, so like any open cut wounds, I'll put that, and then a band-aid if it warrants it. Sometimes this is the balm that I will mix half and half with the tea tree therapy antiseptic cream instead of my homemade balm inspired by Wellness Mama's blog or the organic Manuka honey skin smoothing cream. It's just another balm that I enjoy mixing with my lotion there, and it makes really great aromatherapy. It's just like so soothing. And I actually first discovered this at CVS in the baby section. So, you know, having eczema, here is a shopping hack for you. When you're first starting out and you're not sure where to look for skincare for your eczema, try the baby aisle because their stuff tends to be a lot more gentle. Even the conventional stuff, it's not, even the stuff that's not necessarily like green beauty will be a lot more gentle on the skin than the stuff that's made for adults that's super harsh and filled with fillers and based in alcohol, and that's just, you know, way too harsh. Stuff for babies is great, and luckily the baby aisle is starting to carry more green beauty products anyway, so it's a win-win. And next I have a newer product that I discovered this year called the Creosote Bush Salve Company, and I think it's just their main creosote or creosote, I don't know, I'm pronouncing it correctly, creosote balm. And it looks like this. It's kind of green, and it has an interesting smell. I like it because I like herbal, earthy smells, but I will say that there's a slight like pungency to it, kind of sweet and pungent, and it's made of creosote. It's made of creosote bush leaf. Its main base is grapeseed oil, which I really like for my dry, sensitive skin. Beeswax and less than 2% of grain alcohol, which I'm assuming is their preservative for this formula. And creosote, if I understood the shop owner's description correctly, is the same as chaparral or a similar herb to chaparral, which is a really great herb from the desert that helps with itchiness and bug bites. So if you like rub this on yourself or like break down that herb or chew on it and you rub it onto your skin or a bug bite, it will help heal it, and it will also act as a bug repellent. And if it's itchy, like with poison oak, poison ivy, it will help calm down the itchiness. So of course that's a win for eczema. And this is a product that I found on Etsy. So gotta love Etsy as well, and I'll put a link to that in the description box below. Sometimes this is also the balm that I mix with the tea tree therapy antiseptic cream or whatever I happen to be using for my eye or face cream, depending on what part of me is feeling itchy. This is a balm, so it could be put anywhere. I could use it on my body, I could use it on my neck. Sometimes I mix it with this lotion for that purpose, just, you know, do a little cocktailing. And when I cocktail skincare products, depending on how I'm feeling and what I'm needing, I'll start 50-50 and I'll see if I like it. If it's too oily, then I'll add more of the water-based, or let's see what this is based of, aloe, like so aloe, leaf juice base, rose water base. Basically it's like any sort of base in water, and it may be derived from a plant. With the balm, and it works because there are oil-based ingredients that have been emulsified into these products as well. And let's see, the emulsifier that they looks like they may have used for this is Candelilla wax. So like a wax product will usually be an emulsifying agent. Sometimes like soy lecithin could be in an agent, or some DIY recipes will even put stuff like cornstarch, though I think that's more of a thickener than an emulsifier. Some gums, different types of gums, xanthan gums can be emulsifying ingredients as well. So and beeswax, of course. So yeah, I do like this. I have found it effective for itchiness, and it is a balm, so it is a thick formula. Therefore, I would only, if I were to use it standalone, I'd probably just put a thin layer at a time and maybe add one more layer if I really need it. But with thick products like this, you don't want to use like a huge slab and just like smear it all over, because if your rash is oozing or inflamed and really hot to temperature, like hot to touch, then putting like a really thick oil-based substance can kind of like trap that heat and create an environment for that rash that is kind of humid and make it more itchy. Humid environments on itchy skin can sometimes make them more itchy, especially if you already have oily skin, or you find that humid environments make your skin itchy. Humid environments for my skin type make me feel great, so that's not always true for me, but that's just something to keep in mind, because I know that that overall my body likes humid environments, but sometimes certain parts of my body that are tight together and that have like a crease, like the armpit area, the fold of the elbow, the fold of the back of the knees, and like the private area, there's just like all these folds that create heat in dark places. And when oil is involved and there's sweating and there's, you know, there's like all this moisture being trapped, sometimes that can be an aggravating factor for eczema. Just depends on what's going on, but that's okay, because we have tea tree products and we have eucalyptus products to help us dry those areas out while still providing some kind of hydration if needed. Or sometimes the best thing to do is just aerate and let the fan, you know, blow there and dry you off naturally. And then after that, you can spray with a hydrosol, or create a hydrosol of your own, based in aloe vera juice, because that's a pretty neutral base. And there are filtered aloe vera juices out there that don't have as much of the pulp, which can sometimes be irritating for some skin types. And then put about like 4 ounces of the aloe juice into a empty spray bottle, add about 20 to 30 drops of tea tree oil and another maybe 20 drops of like peppermint oil or spearmint, something like that. Mix it up, spray it on. It will be naturally preserved with the essential oils, and should last like at least a few months, and you could put in the refrigerator if you're concerned about the shelf life of the aloe juice. I will put links to all the places you can find all those things to do some of your own DIY skincare of the products I've mentioned in this video, as well as the products that I've featured in the video. And let's see, another product that I can't find right now, but that has been a holy grail product for me over the past, I think 6 to 8 years, has been the Province Apothecary Hydrating Rescue Balm. And I know that they have an actual specific balm for eczema, but that formula with the turmeric and whatnot, I know it's supposed to be good, but just that formula is a little too dry for me. I think there are some starchier ingredients in that formula, and I think if you have oozing skin, that might be a better option for you. If there's oozing and bleeding, my skin just tends to be just more dry and rough and like lichenified, where it's just like thick and kind of stiff and dry and flaky. If there are flare-ups. And I find that actually their Hydrating Rescue Balm helps my eczema much more than their actual eczema balm. So that's something to consider. And I love that balm, and I don't know, I think I've ordered like 8 of those balms and like, you know, killed them all. Like, they're just so good, you know, great to cocktail with for facial and eye creams. Smells great. It contains calendula, evening primrose, hemp seed oil, all of those really rich omega oils and healing oils for the skin. And that's one that you can also get on Amazon. You can also get it on their website, and depending on the seller on Amazon, it can sometimes be like either the same price or like $5 cheaper. So I will find the best price and put it in the description below that I can find at this time, but don't let that stop you from looking elsewhere, excuse me, for other options. And finally, my last favorite holy grail item for eczema is actually their sleep a bedtime ritual. This is an aromatherapy line, and they have travel kits, they have mini kits that you can sample their products with, which is where this came from. And this is totally empty right now, but oh my god. Oh, the smell of this blend for sleep and insomnia is amazing. I think there's lavender, ylang ylang, and marjoram essential oil that is in this particular blend. And there was a time in college when I was just being a total workhorse, and it was hard to sleep because I was always thinking about the next thing I needed to do, the next project, the next paper, the next thing. And that affected my eczema because in my body I find that lack of sleep or sleeping really late stresses me out, which then makes my skin feel more itchy, especially around my head and my face, like in this like butterfly cheek area. And I swear, like putting 1 or 2 drops of this on my pillow before going to sleep and smelling that just like soothing, super spa-like aroma around me really did help to calm down my nerves. I think with this product, I think that I also just was so relaxed I didn't scratch as much if I did. And so I really recommend checking this out. And essential oils really are super effective because the molecules are so fine that the moment you smell an essential oil, that molecule is actually going straight to your bloodstream, and whatever its therapeutic value is going to be felt immediately. That's why essential oils are so effective and potent, and they can be a really convenient and easy way to just feel immediate relief depending on what oil you choose and what your intention is with it. So I hope that seeing these videos and the mini skincare demo of what I do on a daily basis really helped. I hope that you try some of these techniques and look into some of these products if any of them resonate with you. And if you have dry, sensitive skin like me, I really hope that they'll be helpful for you. But no matter what, always keep in mind that we are all individuals, and if you are of a different ethnicity than me, then it would be worth making sure that all the ingredients on the ingredients list are ones that are safe for you. If you have allergies and you've had a test, make sure to cross-check your list of allergenic ingredients and foods with those of the ingredients list, because you can never be too thorough or too careful when it comes to what you are putting onto your skin and absorbing into your bloodstream. And if you don't know what your allergenic foods or ingredients are, then to be honest, I haven't taken one either. I've just become very hyper aware and developed a hyper perception for things that work for me and things that don't. So I read a lot of ingredients lists. I do a lot of self-observation and kind of self-guinea pigging on products, ingredients, and formulas that my body wants to try, just because I can sense it and because I've learned about different ingredients and herbs, and I've learned about what my patterns are. Or you can also get an allergy test. I should probably take one too eventually. Patch test is the traditional one. I don't like invasive procedures, so I am not into all of that scratching those different allergenic ingredients that could make me flare up, but that is an option. There's also a new option someone has recently brought to my attention called the ALCAT test, which I believe is just something where you give them a sample of your saliva or possibly blood. I think it's saliva. I have to look more into it. I'm sorry. I will look into that find a link and I'll put in the description so we can all be on the same page. But it is a more convenient test where you just put one sample of your DNA and you mail it to them, and they run all these tests of over 400 or 500 different types of common allergenic ingredients, allergenic substances, and then they give you your results and they tell you what you're allergic to from none to mild to high, I believe. And that's another way you could learn about what you're allergic to. And otherwise, there's the elimination diet. Just go cold turkey and do it old school style. I did do that as well. So now I know what the majority of the main things that I'm allergic to. Personal experience. Take some chances, bite the bullet, and learn more about yourself and how your body works and what it likes and what it doesn't like, and get rid of the stuff it doesn't. Because if something doesn't treat your body well, it does not deserve to be in your life or in your stomach or on your skin. You deserve better. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope that you've gotten some inspiration or some wheels have gone to turning further about how you can start to approach finding skincare for yourself that's better, or maybe some of these products really stood out to you and you might try one or two or all of them. And if you do, let me know and see how it works for you. I love to learn about how the things that work for me work for other people with eczema, and I love learning about what works for other people and what doesn't work, and just constantly learning, because that's what, you know, this is about. You know, eczema is about self-discovery, education, and spreading the good word for what works. So, thank you for watching.